Hey friends, it's Carol, Saltbox Stitcher. I am here to show you what I've been stitching and some of my past finishes, and got a lot around me, so let's get started. I'm not sure what episode it is. I think it's either 115, 116.
One more than last time.
It's one more than last time. Mr. Saltbox is here and he didn't know. I think he's frustrated because I keep rearranging things and he's trying to keep the camera where it should be. Anyway, first I'm going to go through a little bit of what I've been stitching, and then I have a plethora of things to show you that I finished in the past. If you've ever watched any of my Patriotic, this will be a rerun, but I know some of you are fairly new to my channel and I appreciate that. So I don't have any life updates except that next Wednesday I'm leaving. I'm going to spend some time with my sister, and then we're going to go to Country Sampler for Stitch Camp. So I'm super excited about that. When I first got these, I said, what is this? My sister goes, it's a fan. I'm like, oh yeah, great idea. You don't think about Wisconsin where it's 50 degrees at night and 70 during the day. I mean, I can see having it in Florida, but anyway. But it comes to great use. So instead of a electric fan, I'm just gonna cool the vapors. Okay, what have I been stitching? So I thought I would show you some of the things first that I've been stitching that are not necessarily patriotic, and then space provided, I will show you some of the patriotic things that I've been working on. And first of all, I thought I would tell you a little bit of this quilt. Here is a Kim Deal. It was part of her what's it? Anyway, she had kits that were, you could buy, and that's what this one is. It's not, usually Kim Deal quilts and fabric have a lot of like some oranges and purples, but this is strictly red, white, and blue. This is a house, and I'll have, what's your name again? I'll have Hubs take a picture of it, maybe for the thumbnail, because it's a beautiful house. It was painted by a gal named Lynn Hosford. She lives in Kansas City, and she does a lot of folk art painting. She does a lot of rug hooking design, and she's never really released patterns, I don't think, on her own, but I bought that one years ago, brought it home on the plane, and was fortunate enough nothing was damaged on it. So this is the top hat that goes with the Uncle Sam. I'll show you that in a little bit. This is a Blackbird design. I've shown you this for the last couple weeks. This is called American Sampler. It was a special offering. This is my May wordplay by With Thy Needle and Thread. And this quilt was actually an old Jan Paddock kit that I bought years ago and finished years ago. Okay. So first, let's talk about what I've been stitching that's not patriotic. So I've worked on my Villages of Hakron Hollow. This is by Carriage Samplings. So I have the top row finished, except I realize I'm missing some things on the willow tree, and I'll get back to that. I just got tired of all that backstitch, so I kind of moved on, but I will get back to it. And then I finished Opal's boarding house, and then this middle one, and I'm ready to start on this guy. I said once I get to this halfway through, I'm going to start Houses of Hakron Hollow. I think what I'm going to do, and I may even take it with me, is do the boxes while I'm gone for houses, because I found when I did the boxes for the village, it made it a lot easier to just move forward and not have to worry about, outlining those boxes or stitching those boxes. I'm using NPI silks, and this is my progress. I am using 36 count. Let's see, what am I using? I didn't put it on here. I think it's Straw by Lakeside Linens. I mean, not Straw, Sand Dune by Lakeside Linens. So this is where I am. And I'm ready to start on this block here. Although I could move around. So one of my favorite blocks on this one is this middle gold. It's called the Jacob's Gristmill. So I may move down. I mean, I can, because I've, like I said, filled in all those boxes. So anyway, that is my Hawk Run Hollow progress that I have been working on. And I usually do that on Fridays, although last Friday I don't think I worked on it, but I may have, who knows. The other one that I've been working on, I try to work on this on Sundays, but I tell you the truth, I haven't worked on it every Sunday because I don't always like letting me be the boss of me, because that's just how I am. Anyway, this is His Eyes on the Sparrow by HeartString Samplery. It's beautiful. Olivia from Pumpkin Hollow Quilts and Michelle Kozieg are also working on this. And this is on 36 count, Picture This Plus Heartland. It's a very golden Heartland, so it's a little more gold than it looks. So this is, I don't even know if you can see the whole thing. I have the top finished except for the cartouche, filling in my initials and the year. I'd love to fill in 2024 eventually. And then I've been working down in this bottom right corner. Can you see it? Yeah, there you go. I do have Adam and Eve finished, but I haven't done anything on the leaves on the tree or the apples. And I'm moving up. So with this one, I'm moving up, and then I'm going to come across and then work on the other side, which basically is a mirror image. However, the colors, you might have a deer, but one's tan and the other one's brown on the other side. And that one I am using all of the called for overdyed threads. The other one that I've spent quite a bit of time on is my Jane Atkinson. This is like, a broken record. I keep talking about it. I haven't finished it yet, but I did make significant progress. So this is Jane Atkinson by the Scarlet Letter. It's gorgeous. I don't know her name, but Stitching for Freedom.
Is that the one with the beast tree?
Yes, the tree's a beast. Anyway, Stitching for Freedom on Instagram. She just started it like a month ago, and she's further along than I am. So. But I've kind of slow poked it because it's fun, and why hurry when it's fun? And this is where I am on this one. I did get the tree completely finished. I have the serpent finished.
Wow.
Adam and Eve are finished, except they don't have any heads. I have a lot of over one to finish. Adam and Eve get backstitched, so they'll show up a lot more because they get backstitched in black or brown. I can't remember. And then I just have, there's more little creatures around the tree that I need to do. I need to fill in that butterfly. But now that the tree is finished, I can start working a little bit on the, some of these other things around the tree, get those all finished, and also in between those times, I can get some of the over one words finished. I don't mind over one words. They are tedious, but they're not hard. Whoops. And for that, things are falling. Hold on. And for that, I'm using the Avera Soie d'Alger skeins. And I'm stitching this on 40 count lentil by Lakeside. I like these. I know people either love them or hate them, but I like them. I like the sheen. But they are fatter. Nothing wrong with fatter. They are fatter, plumper, whatever, so they can be a little bit tighter to use with 40 count. But what in the heck? I have a needle in the middle of all that. I picked up some threads, and hidden within the threads there is a needle. Okay, now I'll start. The rest of this whole thing is going to be about Patriotic. So for those of you in Canada, I know you don't worship or enjoy parading your flag like we do in America. And I know for other countries, this is more American Patriotic, but it's still what I like to stitch, what I have a lot of in my home. So thank you for watching. This one I mentioned a couple weeks ago. I'm hoping I don't have to take all these out of the charts. This is 13 Colonies by Little House Needleworks. Let's see if I can do it so there's no glare. I love this kind of pastoral scene in the middle with the houses, and then it names all the colonies. So I worked a little bit on this one, not a whole lot. This one I'm using 40 count navy bean. I ironed some of these, aren't you impressed? So I started on the bottom. I got that bottom section done with the house and the dates and the 4 trees. And for some odd reason, I'm working up. I don't know why. So the outside border's finished. There's a lot of flowers and leaves to be filled in. So I'm a long way from finishing this. 40 count navy bean by Lakeside. And I'm using combination of, it's the called for, but it's a combination of overdyed cottons and DMC. You can move it if you want. There you go. The next thing that I worked on, do you ever have pieces that you like, you love, but stitching on them is not the most fun? For whatever reason. Could be the linen, could be the threads. But you love the design and you want it finished. Could you get my phone? Hold on, I'm going to go get my phone for just a second. Okay, sorry. This is Grand Old Flag by Samplers Not Forgotten. Now this picture is from Country Sampler's Instagram page. And for some reason, I don't have a picture of it in person. Or in, do you say in person? Maybe you say in Sampler. Because it's not a person. Anyway, I love it. Now they have grunged it up. They do that a lot. But I love it. But stitching on it is not my favorite. Now some people would say, oh, I just trash it. I can't do that. I have too much invested in it. So it's You're a Grand Old Flag by Samplers Not Forgotten. Now, Country Sampler has done a conversion, so the colors are different than the called for. And you would have to call Country Sampler. I originally got it as a kit. My kit is on 36 count tin roof by Weeks. some people call this the old whatever. It to me, it's what olive weeks used to be. They used to use for their base linen, which is not Zweigart. So let's talk a little bit about Zweigart. Zweigart is linen that is made in Germany. I don't know where the flax is grown, but it's made in Germany. And it has the red, orange, whatever. It's a stripe on the side. Now, sometimes when it's over dyed, that stripe can become tan. It can be still red, whatever. It in the selvage is a stripe. So that is Zweigart. Now, other companies like Weeks use a different base linen, which some of us don't like as well because it might be a little more uneven as far as it has thick and thin, weave within the linen. It could have more slubs. So most of us that stitch a lot, and I'm kind of throwing myself in with a category of people that I don't really know if that's true. So don't fact check me. But a lot of us prefer Zweigart because it's just more of a consistent linen. Then companies buy that white linen. I assume it's white. Maybe it's just the natural color. I don't know. And they over dye it. So when I say Weeks old linen, I mean the not Zweigart, which I think they still sell and people use. The newer, or some of the newer cuts of Zweigart, of Weeks, are on Zweigart base linen. The other thing to remember is Zweigart linens by count are named. So 28 count has, a name, 32 count has a name, 40 count is Newcastle. So that's not a color. That's the name of the count. Clear as mud? Okay. Anyway, all that to say, this piece is on Weeks tin roof that is not Zweigart. Now, how do I know that? Because the selvage is here and there's no stripe. Okay? But I have worked on this and I really want it finished. So I worked on the flower pot and I got that completely done. For some weird reason, I was using the wrong color on the flowers. It wasn't even one of the called for in the conversion. So I ripped out all the flowers and redid that. And now I'm working on the roof, or however you want to say that. So it's interesting because the roof is two different colors. And if you stitch it up and down like that, you get this effect, which I think is really kind of cool. See how it looks like it's, well, it does in person. It's kind of hard to see. So instead of stitching every other stitch in a separate color, you're stitching all the way up, all the way down, and then all the way up, all the way down, and then you're doing the opposite color. So I've spent a lot of time talking about this one, and I really didn't mean to. So the two colors for, and I'll make sure I show you the right colors because last time I didn't. So the two colors for the roof are Poblano Pepper and Dolphin. So those are the two colors for the roof. And I had a lot of people point out that last time for the two colors of flax, I held up one that was sage. But I'll make sure these are the two colors of flax that I talked about last time. I'm using both. The bottom one is lighter, and I'm using that in the house and parts of the house, and other parts of the house I'm using the top one. So these are both flax. So anyway, that was my mistake from last time. Not holding up the right thing. The other thing I worked on is I finished almost this one, which is Happy Birthday America by With Thy Needle and Thread. You put it on this cake stand looking thing, which is actually a little candle holder and the lid of a box. And everything is done except the white. There's some white stars and doodahs. So this is all completely finished except that. And you will see, as I show you more of what I'm going to show you, I have a problem finishing, getting it done. Yesterday, a bunch of my friends were at the quilt shop and they had reserved a day to just, there were like 6 of them there all doing finishing. I had to stop by, but I didn't participate. And I thought, you know, this is ridiculous. They have such cute things that they're finishing. And a lot of us stitch the same things. And I'm like, darn it, I have that done. I should. Anyway, I just have been so busy with quilting and a lot of other stuff. So anyway, here's the colors for that. That's the called for, and that's Happy Birthday America. And I just need to, it probably take me an hour to finish those white, but I didn't, have I done them? No. Now I'm leaving next week, so when I talk about finishing, this all will have to wait till I come back. The other thing I stitched on was the Heritage Sampler by Plum Street. This is one of 3 different samplers that are this particular style. So prior to this, I had kind of stopped. I almost like did half, well, except for down here, but I had done half. So I went and I finished the other part of the top and then the other part of the border. And then I got the bright idea that I would start doing the over one behind the old tread me. Oh, don't tread on me. And that got kind of tedious, so I was like, okay, let's put that aside for a little bit. But I do want to finish that soon. I really like that. Christine from Hollis Hands Creates, she has all 3 of them done and finished and framed, and they're beautiful. This is the threads for all 3 of them. So sometimes I'll do that, you know, like a blackbird, or, you know, if I have a lot of things in a book that I want to do all of them, I'll just put all of the threads on one ring and then it's ready to pick up whenever. So that was Heritage Sampler that I worked on. Now I'm not showing these necessarily in order, but just what I've been working on, because I think it's been 3 weeks since my last video. The other thing I worked on was the Big Blue House Pin Keep by Stacy Nash. This is a huge drum. And the side is also stitched. So I had a good portion of the house finished. And now I'm working on these flowers that go around. There's a pot of flowers over here, and there's a couple needles here, but you know, you get the idea. And then I think this is a goat. Is that a goat? Has like beard. Don't goats have kind of a beard? Anyway, and then I have a lot of linen because that's what the border will be for. The side border. That's just like a long strand of flowers and stems and leaves and all that good stuff. Oh yay, my big box of batting. FedEx just delivered my batting that I ordered. Anyway, here's the called for colors for that. And this one I'm stitching on the called for. It was a kit from Country Sampler originally, the Big Blue House Pin Keep, and there's actually 4 of these. It's seasonal. There's a spring, a fall, and a Christmassy one. So I have all of them, so I need to get them finished. The last thing I worked on was Live on Little. This is by Plum Street. Sorry for the glare. A lot of people have finished this. A lot of people are working on it. It's gorgeous. This is the one thing I think I'm taking with me because I'm hoping to get, I have a few more. Let me show you here. Let me take it out. Just set it on my chair. You don't need to bring it to me.
Happy Mail.
Yeah, I got Happy Mail. Okay, so in this water, there's those little tiny fish. There's 3, there's a couple here, and there's a couple over here. So once I finish the fish, then I can fill in all that water down there. I did a couple of the little fish over here, and you can't see them really well because they kind of match the linen, but once the blue is filled in. So I have the whales, the lobster, and yes, that's a lobster. If I had looked on the back, I would not have to worry if it was a shrimp or a lobster, because it's a lobster, because it says for the lobster, do this. So anyway, then I can bring this down. The mermaid is kind of at the bottom, so the fill-in will be about to here. So that'll give me a lot of good fill-in while I'm traveling. So that's what I've been working on. Let me take a quick break. I need to get something cold to drink because it's hot. Okay, I got my water. So I can cool off. Okay, I'm going to show you some previous finishes. Some are finished and some are not finished. There's 2 of them that I couldn't find the pattern, so I'm pretty sure. This is, I'm pretty sure, a Plum Street. It just looks like Plum Street. And I think this is George and Martha. Abigail, I don't know. But this one is all finished. So that is a little pillow. Very cute. I didn't make this, but a friend made this for me. I love that. The coverlet fabric with a little flag on it. Simple, but cute. Goes in the dough bowl, cute. This is Sweet Land of Liberty. Needs to be fully finished. I think this is HeartString Samplery, but don't hold me to it. But I couldn't find the pattern. I have it, but I couldn't find it. Okay. This is another Plum Street. This is Liberty Inn. I need to frame this. I think when I come back, I'm gonna order some small frames, either from Hobby Lobby or online, because some of these small ones I can pin and lace or whatever myself. But I just get in the habit of putting them away and then they don't get finished, and it's silliness. So that's Liberty Inn. I think I finished this last year. Another one of Plum Street's white houses that you're like, oh, is this going to show up? And sure enough, it does. I love the flag that's in the sawtooth star. I think that's clever. So that's Liberty Inn by Plum Street. This one I did years ago, 2018. And this one, I'm pretty sure. There used to be a Prim Stitchers Club at Country Sampler years ago, and I think this was one. This is by the Pin Keep, and it's called Old Flag Station. Don't know if you'd be able to find this or not. Old Flag Station by the Pin Keep. And that's this one. And that's just some wool that I just tacked on there just to look primitive. I finished it in 2018, so. Old Flag Station. This one is filled with walnut shells. Some of the other ones are mostly filled with sawdust. And before you ask where I get my sawdust, because Hubs does woodworking, he gives me sawdust. This is by HeartString Samplery. This is called For Spacious Skies. Some of these are older. And this one is on a piece of Heroic by Picture This Plus. Oh, beautiful For Spacious Skies. But the name of it is For Spacious Skies. See, some of these little ones I can frame and they just look cute. I mean, they just look cute. This is another Plum Street. There was a series of houses that she did, sampler houses. This is Sampler House 3. I've done 2 of the 4, I think, but not fully finished any of them. Sampler House 3. It says you're a grand old flag. Love these trees with the little stars within them. Oops, sorry. See? Very cute. And some of these, I assume I probably used the called for. See, I need somebody to come in at night and do all this finishing for me. Do it yourself, Carol. I know. This is another HeartString Samplery. Oh, wait a minute. You know what? This is the one I thought I didn't have the pattern for. Where'd it go? Here it is. Sweet Land of Liberty. HeartString Samplery. See, I was right. So I did get out the pattern. Okay. I mean, if you're going to stitch them, you know, I should finish them so that they have a place to live instead of in a cabinet. I think I finished this one last year. This is Flag Folk. This one I did use the conversion from Country Sampler. This is by Not Forgotten Farm. I started it because the kit from Country Sampler had Murky by Picture This Plus, and my piece of Murky was, it just wasn't dyed even. I mean, I know Murky's not dyed evenly, but it was just, it had big white splotches and then big really black splotches. It wasn't like modeled well. So instead I decided to restart it on Heroic. So that's Flag Folk by Not Forgotten Farm. Love those funky people. I like Heroic. If you'll notice it actually looks like a bruise. Doesn't that look like a bruise? I dropped a can on my big toe 2 days ago. My big toe is like so bruised. It's fortunate I didn't break the bone. Oh my gosh, I danced around after that.
Ouch, ouch, ouch!
Of course, of all places, it has to fall right. The corner of the can. I know cans are round and they don't technically have corners, but the edge hit my big toe. And oh my gosh, that hurt. Then I didn't even want to eat anything that was from the can. I was like, I was in rebellion. Anyway, Flag Folk by Not Forgotten Farm. That's really a cute one. Heroic. Looks like a bruise. Oh, now I dropped one. The next one, I think I did this one last year too. This is by Plum Street. I need to frame all these. Flag Flock by Plum Street. Love that long flag. I mean, this is Paulette. Although I love what Sully stitches. If you don't watch Sully stitches on FlossTube, you should. Tara Sullivan. She said, Paulette, we love your designs, but you make us work. There's a lot of stitching in a small space. So this is Flag Flock. Looks like there's a thread. It's just too cute. Needs to be framed. I love this one. Well, I love them all, but whatever. This is 1864 House by Chessie and Me. I actually have a frame this fits in, but it currently has something else in it. Too bad I don't know a woodworker who could make me a frame.
It's so subtle.
Yeah, subtle as a Mack truck. So cute. I mean, that's just too cute. Chessie and Me. It has this horse up here in this black, if you can see that. 1864 House Sampler by Chessie and Me. Okay, should I keep going? This one is by With Thy Needle and Thread. It's called Land of Liberty. I love this Uncle Sam. I love him. So cute. Land of Liberty by With Thy Needle and Thread. See, this has some of those white, see those white stars? That's what I'm missing. I haven't stitched yet on that Happy Birthday America. Adorable. I mean, adorable. A little bit of rickrack. A little bow with a star button. I mean, it's just so cute. This is My Country by La Di Da. Love it. This one is done on a really dark linen. I'm not sure what it is, but I think it's a week's. I don't know. It looks like maybe tin roof even. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty. Of thee I sing. No, I won't sing. The crow, the flag. Love it. It's adorable. Again, I put some little wool. This one I put DMC that you wind into the, what do you call that? Okay, I'm not going to try to think of stuff that I can't think of right away. That's my favorite kind of finishing. It's just very tailored looking, which is more me. This one I did years ago. In fact, this one is stuffed with fiberfill. This is by Lizzie Kate, Land That I Love. This was a snippet. She used to make these snippets that were really small. I can't remember if they were like in a, like a little plastic zip. And then it had a charm with it. Land That I Love by Lizzie Kate. Which is cute. It's just cute. I have another one here, and I think this might be Threadwork Primitives, but evidently I didn't get out the pattern for this one. Land That I Love. Don't quote me, but I think it might be Threadwork Primitives. And then I have this one. This is really old. This is by the City Stitcher. I don't know when this came out, years ago. It's called the Americana Sampler. This hangs up in the bedroom year round. And it does have matting. And it's done on like raw linen that's probably about a 28 count. But I really like it. And I like the matting. It doesn't bother me. I'm not a huge person that usually likes matting. I am a huge person. I'm not a person who likes mats on my pieces a lot, a huge amount. Anywho, It probably would be better if I did these floss tubes if I knew how to speak. Okay, a few more. Let's hope I can find these things. This is also in my wanna stitch because I'm going to show you some wanna stitch. But this one is the Blackbird book, Sweet Land of Liberty. And I have a couple pieces I'm going to show you out of this one that are finished and a couple that I want to stitch. I actually finished this one too. Now this has an eagle and a flag, and I'm sure that's why they inserted it in this, but I have done this with the two different linens. I didn't get it out, I probably should have, but it has, I put my mom's initials and my dad's initials in the year they were married. That one's called Liberty Rose. This is Salute to Abigail. Let's see if I can do this. Salute to Abigail. I did this years ago. This originally was a club kit from Dying to Stitch. It was done with silks. And that is from the book. So it's Salute to Abigail. And it's from the book Sweet Land of Liberty, which is available. And then I did In Full Glory, which is this one. And I put this cool button that it's like a blazer button, but it kind of looks like a medal, you know, like a on a uniform or something. In Full Glory. And then I want to stitch this one, which is American Eagle, and I have it kitted, ready to go on a piece of 40 count Confederate gray by Weeks. Now this is not a Zweigart Weeks, but it's 40. I think that Grand Old Flag is on 36. I think that's part of the reason I'm not crazy about it. And then I also would like to do this one, which is called Sweet Land of Liberty. And literally, you'd only do part of the house. And Country Sampler, when I was there last year, they had done this on, and it was in like one of those little tart pans. This is called Piping, I think. That just came to me. Anyway, they finished it in like a little tart pan. It was adorable. So I bought the tart pan. Have I done this yet? No. But there should be enough space on the other one that I want to do obviously both of them. Probably more than enough linen and probably the same colors. So I might actually take that with me because that's just adorable. I mean, come on. House with flags and bunting. Blackbird. Alma, I could spend a lifetime stitching all your beautiful pieces. The last one that I want to show you that I've finished is this one. And now this is from Souvenirs of Summer book. I think Alma reprinted this, but I'm not 100% sure. But this one is called Summer's Souvenir. I've shown you this piece before. This is a piece that Susan Aki, Yard Girl, started. She didn't like it. I mean, she had a little bit of it done. She had a little, I think she had one side of the blue, maybe the blue finished. And she said, here, you can have this. So I finished it in 2014. Love it. Souvenir of Summer. And this is probably on like a 28 count, maybe 30 count. It's a lighter Maybe an R&R linen. I'm not sure. But this book, everybody and their brother has stitched this one. Not me. So let's talk about Blackbird designs. I'm going to show you a few things. I used to not really like this that much, but I love this one now. See how your tastes kind of change? I mean, come on, I live in Florida. I don't know what kind of fish that is. Doesn't really look like a shark. Doesn't really look like a dolphin, but who knows? This one's gorgeous. Everything in this book is fabulous. This one, I've seen people do that, America. So I need to do this one, this one, this one, this one, done that one. And I need to do this one, and I need to do all of them. I mean, who doesn't like a black bird with a, or a crow, whatever, with a flag? I mean, is there a problem with that? So I'm going to show you some other Blackbird pieces that I want and need to do. This is this huge bag. Okay. Some of this has got crinkling, so be careful. This is another one that I might take with me. I keep saying that, and you know, you take too much with you, and then you get there and you stitch on one piece, and you're like, why did I bring all this? It took up room in my suitcase. This is a needle book called The Clustered Stars. This was a kit from Dying to Stitch originally. It even, somebody I was watching was talking about this. It came with the linen, came with the inside fabric, and it came with the flag, because the pattern, hold please, let me see if I can show you the picture. Sometimes my hands don't work like they used to. So you have the front, you have the inside, and then you, which is that, and then you have the, and I think this is in a book. Hold on. Yes, it's in this one, United We Stand. This was reprinted last year. Even though I had the kit, I thought it would be easier to kind of manage the book. So here is the front of the needle book. And you know, I see people do these kind of things and I'm like, that's just genius. Why didn't I do that? Okay, here's the middle of the book. So this is your where you put your needles. Then this is the back of the inside of the book. And this is the full outside of the book. So there's a lot of stitching. Blackbird can be like Plum Street. They can challenge. There's a lot of stitching. But that would be a nice, you know, thing to take with me. And also on this same book, United We Stand, is the mattress pin cushion as well as the scissor holder. Which, again, now this one was a special, I think this came from Quilter Station, but here's the scissor pocket. And then there's also this one. This wasn't in the book, but this is the sewing bird pocket. I have all these kitted. Some were older kits from Dying to Stitch clubs, and some, here's the mattress pincushion kitted. I don't know why I haven't done all these. What is it going on? Shame, shame, shame. Sweet Land of Liberty. That's the drum. I have some friends that were stitching on, they were just going to do the top of this one. So that's a need to stitch. Now here's some really old ones. Not that book. Okay. This came out in 2002. Blackbird Designs. This one is called Home of the Brave. One color. Calls for, doesn't even say a color of the floss. Oh, DMC 221. That would be a good red. Somebody asked me what color red to use on a red sampler. Somebody asked me that in a comment. Since I'm thinking red, sorry, I got distracted. My concentration is easy to be interrupted with another thought. And that really depends on what color linen you're using. If you're using a really dark linen, then you need something that coordinates with that. If you're using a really light linen, so I can't really just give you a DMC number offhand. I would look at all the reds, just, look at all the red DMCs and compare them to your linen. And then you can decide. Here's another one. This one is the Schoolgirl Sampler number 5. I love this. I think this is way out of print. But it's not huge. This is actually 94 by 112. I mean, come on. It has 2 colors, deep sea and blue coat red. I mean, you could use any blue and any red. This one, talk about fill-in that would be easy to do, is this one. This is called Long May She Wave. On that box. Piece of linen I have in here is 36 count Liberty Gathering Gray by R&R. That's all that's in this, Long May She Wave. Look at that box. Oh my gosh. I really want to do this. It's not piping. I thought the name of that was piping. It's just, I don't know what it is. Somebody will tell me. Then there's this one, Liberty Eagle. Oh my gosh, I love this guy. Even though the sampler in the little middle of the eagle is over 1, it's still fabulous. This is the book, Liberty's Eagle. And there's just 2 designs. There's this one, which is smaller, and then there's this one, Liberty's Eagle by Blackbird. And I have it kitted with a piece of 36 count Creek Bed Brown by R&R. Obviously, I intend to do these at some point. Here's that other one that was, that I said everybody and their brother had done. It was in that other book. Oh, please. See, I get so much stuff, I can't find what I'm doing. It's in Sweet Land of Liberty, I think. No, it's in Souvenirs of Summer. This one. I mean, come on, Carol. How long are you going to hold on to this stuff before you actually do it? This is 18th Century Blackbird by R&R, which is the called for. Some of these I need to refold them so they don't get weird folds in them. You know, another thing I do, I don't ever zip my project bags. I let everything breathe. Now, can it breathe through the cotton? Probably, but since a lot of things are in those black Ziploc bags, I like stuff to breathe. I absolutely think that is everything. Oh, I did get a little bit of haul, but this has gone for a long time. One of the things I got was the new homespun needlework exclusive, and it's called Sophia Neal. Go watch Whilst Iris Naps if you want to see details on it. It's designed by her. She's in somewhere in England, northern England, I think. And it's only available through the Facebook group Homespun Samplers Cross Stitch, Homespun Samplers, and then in parentheses it's cross stitch and needlework, I think. Anyway, it's an exclusive and it ends on the 21st of May, which is next Tuesday, I think. So if you want that, make sure to get it. I'll try to get my husband to insert a picture of the chart here. And then the only other haul I got, other than I got a 1, 2, 3 stitch order that came today, but it's mostly threads, and I got a 40-yard roll of batting, which is kind of boring. And then also, I wanted to tell you that Kitten Stitcher on her website is going to have permanently $5 deals. I did get a couple charts, a couple of them were fall and Halloween, so I'll show you those later. And I also got some fabric, which was $5 a yard. So at regular $13 a yard, I did get enough for some backings for some quilts, which is, if you get 6 yards, you probably have more than enough for a backing for a pretty good sized quilt. So go check out kittenstitcher.com and check out her $5 deals. Also, Stitching Faye, Heidi, she lives in California, and she did a huge Blackbird parade of things that she's working on that are Blackbird. It's fabulous. Go watch that. I've watched some other floss tubes, but most of them I've mentioned before. Olivia Pumpkin Hollow, Michelle Cozy Egg, Christine Hollis Hands Creates. Everybody has their favorites and people they watch a lot. So give some of those people a look if you haven't already. I think that's all I have. I think this has gone on way too long, and I have a huge mess to put away. So I will see you when I see you, probably not till the middle of June, because I'm going to be gone over 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, something like that. So I will be, maybe, I'm not very good at it, but maybe I will post some pictures from Stitch Camp. And I'm just looking forward to time with my sister. We haven't seen each other since last year's Stitch Camp, so a year. So my brother also lives in Kansas now, so it'll just be a good time. So love ya. I'll see you when I see you. Bye.